Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 13 of my favorite 31 rock and pop albums of the 70s countdown. We've been doing it each and every day here, the month of August 2023. 31 days in a month. We're each picking out together our 31 favorite general rock and pop albums, right? These are not the southern rock albums, not the progressive rock albums, not the jazz albums or fusion albums, and not the hard rock and heavy metal albums, although some of my picks might rock quite a bit, including this one. This is a band that for me just is right on the bridge. You know, they were never really heavy metal, but you could certainly call any of their early albums hard rock albums or garage rock albums, that sort of thing. But, you know, I was so close to putting them in my hard rock and metal countdown, and ultimately I left them out because I'm like, I could squeeze them into the rock and pop countdown, and I didn't feel too bad about that, to be honest. This is the fifth album from this band, this American band, released November 15th, 1971, recorded at Cleveland Recording Company in Cleveland, Ohio, produced by Terry Knight for Capitol Records. I'm talking about E Pluribus Funk from Grand Funk Railroad. Right, so it's for those of you who probably had the original vinyl, I believe the original vinyl was white. The cover was white, if I remember correctly, and they had a nice die cut for that, right? Of course, the CD is just kind of plain. Got the coin, right, with Mel, Don, and Mark on the front. There they are, right there. Of course, the originally a power trio from Flint, Michigan. Eventually, with the addition of Craig Frost on keyboards, they became a four-piece, right? But so basically, you got Mark Farner on lead vocals, guitar, keyboards, Mel Scatcher, however I can never remember exactly how to say his name. I've listened to this band forever, but it's Schacher. So you would think it's Schatcher, but I think it's Scatcher or something like that, or Satcher, whatever it is. Mel is awesome. The big, heavy bass lines, man, he's so good. And Don Brewer, of course, on drums, percussion, and vocals. So, what do we got on this album? There's just some really cool stuff on here. One of the things I always love about Grand Funk Railroad is, yes, they can get heavy at times for sure, but they were just a good, groove-laden rock band that incorporated funk and soul and garage and acid rock and psychedelic music into their sound, right? Eventually, just a few short years later, of course, they became a much more sophisticated rock and pop machine, cranking out hit songs and very, memorable albums loaded with, album tracks that are considered, some great radio songs, FM radio songs that have been going on for years and years and years. But to me, I love the early Raw albums so much. This has always been one of my favorites. Starts off with foot stomping music. That's a perfect example of this kind of groove-laden rock and pop and funk stuff that they did so well. Foot stomping music, so good, right? It's got this killer organ from Mark Farner, and then, the whole song is mostly like a groove-laden, organ-driven song, and then he kicks into this guitar solo right in the middle. It's just absolutely fire-breathing. It's so good. Then you got the wah-wah-driven People Let's Stop the War. Of course, lots of their lyrical content early on was very much driven by things going on here in the States, like the Vietnam War and the race riots and, stuff going on in politics and Watergate and all that sort of thing. Very, very much a people's band, right? That they had one of the reasons why they were so popular is that their songs really resonated with younger people who were all about, hey, protesting the war and protesting all the things that are going on and the craziness of the world and in the country at the time. And their lyrics spoke to the kids of the day. People Let's Stop the War is a great rocker with a killer wah-wah riff from Mark. Then you got Upsetter, which is just, again, another groovy, just rock song. So catchy. And then one of my favorites from the album is I Come Tumbling, which is this high-energy blues rock song. That's one thing I didn't mention before, talking about all the elements of Grand Funk Railroad. A terrific blues rock band, too. I Come Tumbling is a perfect example of that. It's just got this rampaging, just acrobatic guitar riff, and it's just got this bluesy thump throughout the whole song. I just love I Come Tumbling. Then, of course, over on side 2, you've got the kind of frantic but very emotional and gutsy Save the Land, another great song. Then you have No Lies, another cool track, and then finishing it off with the epic, to me, kind of like I'm Your Captain Part 2, which is Loneliness. It's got the Loneliness. It's got the great vocals from Mark, the keys and the strings and all that sort of thing. Just very, very good. Got the orchestral background. Just a very, very cool song that clocks in at just under 9 minutes long. Very, very awesome song there. So, love this album. Charting position. Again, this band basically a North American kind of enigma, right? I mean, this one made it to number 5 on the U.S. Billboard charts. Australia number 11, and Canada number 10. So basically, North America and Australia were really the two continents that bought into the whole Grand Funk Railroad thing, and they were very big here for a number of years. But in Europe and whatnot, that didn't do much of anything. The singles released on the album, Foot Stompin' Music made it to number 29, the Billboard Hot 100 singles charts, 43 in Canada, 83 in Australia, and then Upsetter made it to number 73, 89 in Canada. And as far as like certifications, did this not certify? I don't see anything here about that. Let's just take a look. No, looks like it did not certify, so this one did not quite make it to gold status here in the States, but I know quite a few of their other albums did. But yeah, this is, in this band right around this time, of course, the following year they would go and sell out Shea Stadium in like record time and, faster than the Beatles and, just playing huge shows here in the States. But, the rest of the world so they milked it here for all the critics hated them, fans loved them, including myself. So that is my pick for today. E Pluribus Funk from Grand Funk Railroad. I know some of you picked some Grand Funk stuff for last month, and that's totally cool. Like I said, I almost did. But I ultimately decided that, let me save them for the general rock show because, while they do rock quite a bit, and, some of their songs on their first 2 albums in the 60s are very much part of that whole kind of proto-metal thing. They weren't a metal band by any means, and they did a lot of varied material, hard rock and blues rock and soul and funk and pop and all that sort of thing, and psychedelia. So anyway, that's my pick for today. Let us know what you think of E Pluribus Funk down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today. Pick number, what did I say? We're at 13, and just 12 to go. Right, the dirty dozen is left, the top dozen, the baker's dozen. Well, today was the baker's dozen pick, right? So this is on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we've got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page as well. We've also got a Cameo account now too. If you want any personalized videos, just go to Cameo and search for Pete Pardo. And we'll see you here this weekend. Of course, we've got Ranking the Albums coming up tomorrow. Jamie Laszlo and myself will be ranking the catalog of the great stoner metal, psychedelic rock band, Monster Magnet. So stay tuned for that. It's coming up at you tomorrow. So till then, I am Pete Pardo. See you tomorrow morning with number 12. Till then, take care. Bye-bye.